What is going on? What is going on? Faithful, it is the N.W.A on a Monday Night Raw with the gentleman next to me, himself, Boston Hater, and Florida Mike. What's up, Florida Mike?
Whoop. What's up? Trying to find my logo right here. What's going on?
There you go. There you go. What's up, Boston Hater?
Hey, just another one. Tough loss yesterday. Tough loss.
Yeah.
Definitely tough loss. We're going to get into it, man. Definitely. There's a lot to talk about tonight's show. People are going to start popping in the soon, coming in soon. But yeah, tough loss. Definitely tough loss. And let's see how we go from here. What's up, Tom? Welcome to the stream, Tom. Welcome, welcome. So I'm gonna put you guys. I'm gonna give the floor to you guys for a few minutes, and I'm gonna trying to get some people in here for tonight's show. So I'll let you guys take it over.
All right. Appreciate it, man. What's going on, bro? Nate, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. And yourself?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join, man. And also the Nine of Faithful that's chiming in tonight. We appreciate you guys. If you're like me on the East Coast, it's a little late where we is about 10:23. But hey, it's a nine party tonight, so let's get it. Before we get this show kicked off, man, big shout out to all the Nine chapters worldwide. The UK Nine chapter can't wait to come on your show and represent as a member of the N.W.A on behalf of us and speak on our behalf and join you real soon. So be on the lookout for that. The UK and England Nine chapter. Orlando Niner chapter, Germany Niner chapter, everybody. So many chapters, especially the California. So let's get into it, man. So Boston Hater, man, as you know, we had a dramatic game yesterday, and there's a lot of emotion and fan reaction as expected. Where do we start, man? What we got so much to hit on, man. An hour's not enough, but where do we start? Me personally, I want to get straight into it, if you don't mind, and talk about the defensive coach, DeMarco Ryans, because I'm gonna be honest, man. With the Niner faithful criticizing this man as his, third game in to his very young career as a head coach, I think it's really unfair considering that it's a small sample. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I'm not saying that he's not without some level of blame, but for people to pile on the way that I've seen it, there's just no reason for that. This is his third game as a defensive coordinator. Um, it's a learning process. He'll get better with time, and I believe that he's got the makings because he's a quick study. So he's going to evolve, because the vast majority of his mistakes were made early in the game. Um, and It's not so much about how, because when you look at this game, not just from that perspective of the defense early and D'Amico Ryans, there was a lot of good to take from this game. And people are missing that because they see all the negative. Uh, you know, I actually, in a lot of respects, was more impressed with this team at the end of this game than I was either of the first two. Now, not to say that they necessarily played better, but they had stiffer competition too.
Right on, right on. Big shout out to Tom, man. We see you, Canada chapter, the Niner chapter in Canada. Big shout out to our Canadian family. Much love to you guys. Tom is always representing. Big shout out to Tom in Canada. Um, I agree. The funny thing is, I want to add on to what you're saying. So on this show, guys, keep in mind what we do is we bring presentations, you know, from the perspectives that we actually saw in the game. Meaning, we're not going to react and recite. This is what a lot of fans are doing. They're reacting because they're emotional, and then they're reciting what they hear without actually formulating their own thoughts. So let's take away all the media talk. If you actually watch the game, sure, defensively we could have done some things better, but we also could have done some things better offensively.
A
Let's start on
whole
the
lot
defensive. Oh, and
offensive.
we're gonna get into that real quick. But on the defensive side, let me add on to what my brother Boston Hater saying. You guys seem to forget, for the ones that are criticizing DeMarco Ryans, the four down stop. when they could have, they went for it on fourth down. We got that. This is like the second game in a row that we got to stop in four down territory, and the defense showed up. And when you look at the offensive side of the ball with Garoppolo's untimely interception, which happens, but then the throw that he made when he kind of spun around and threw it from his backside, that just gave more field position, more time to defense to be on the field than they should have. So to be fair, I'm not sitting here saying that the defense could do no bad, but the reality is we're not going to have a three-phase game and blame it more of the blame on the defense when there's a ton of mistakes on offense, which we'll actually break down and give another perspective because I'm in part of a few Niner groups. And to be honest, I don't watch the media that you guys do, but I hear what you guys are saying from the media that you watch. And I just see a lot of people repeating what they watch without actually thinking about what they're actually saying. So the reality is our defense had a lot of good. They had some moments out there where they actually did really well, and then they had some moments where they didn't. If people are talking about we shouldn't have gone prevent in 37 seconds, should have double teamed Adams. At the end of the day, our secondary as a whole, they did enough to win that game, but we didn't execute at the end. But that end of the game does not, uh, you know, tell the entire story of that game, which we're going to break down on the offensive side of the ball. Anything you want to add on to that, Boston Hater, before we touch on the offense side of the mistakes that we made?
No, you know, the defense did the defense did what they did. They were not terrible, not great. Yeah. Um the referees didn't help matters. Um there was a lot of poor refereeing just throughout, all around. So I'm not necessarily blaming the referees because they were just so terrible just in general. Um and I could probably cite numerous plays, but we're not going to beat a dead horse, and I'm not going to go through all that. But there were numerous plays that the referees just messed up completely. So that's here nor there. Um, Bottom line is they just need to play better. Um, they need to learn from what the mistakes they made today. So
Yeah, and I mean, the defense was expected to dominate because what happened is a lot of the fans are used to seeing us dominate the Packers when we have a winning record. So when we didn't dominate them and they actually got out to a 17-0 start, the offense was very sluggish. 17-0 means your offense is not producing. 17-0 also means your defense is giving up some plays. But the reality is the defense made some fourth down key stops. The defense also had them go 3-and-out in critical times, and the offense didn't capitalize on a lot of those things. So it's a to me it's a reaction and an action to a reaction. If we're going to prioritize the defense, we also got to acknowledge that our offense got off to a very slow start, and the way we came back, that means the defense had to make some series of stops for us to even come back. So we got to acknowledge the totality of the game. What fans are doing is here's the funny thing: had we won, had that kicker missed the kick, everybody would have been like, "Hey, man, that was a great tough game." But when you get a loss as an outcome of it with the same type of mistakes, then all of a sudden there's finger pointing. There's the defense didn't do this, defense do that. I'm wondering why is there so much scrutiny on the defense when the offense as a collective had flaws that was like, mind-boggling. Like, and this is not a flaw for this game. This has been an issue from week one. And I can let Boston Hater kind of elaborate on that. Me and him kind of talked about a little bit off air, but Boston Hater, feel free to let's dissect this offense and let's call the totality of a team effort that fell short.
okay, well, first of all, you have 40 passes and 20 runs. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan's issue is with Trey Sermon, but he either needs to sit him down on the sideline and put somebody else out there. But, you know, giving the ball to Juszczyk and Kittle and you know, he carried the ball 10 times and he was the only tailback that he used. And we ran the ball 20 times and we threw it 40. There's no reason for that, you know. And when you look at uh, the play calling, it was questionable at best, especially early. Um, you know, third down and short, you're throwing a 5-yard pass, and I'm talking about like 3rd and 1. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is, quarterback sneak king. Give him the ball, let him push it there and move on for another 4 downs. You know, hand it off to the running back. But you're going to throw, and he threw into a crowd of people, and he was lucky he didn't get intercepted. Uh, I don't understand what the thought process was there. I mean, if you're going to throw on 3rd down, my logic is, especially when you're in the middle of the field at the 50-yard line, and the game is 10-0 and it's 4th and 1. Well, you threw on 3rd and 1 and had this little short pass that was and you're not going to go on 4th down. You're going to turn around and punt down 10-0 at midfield. I don't get it. You know, what is usually the way that coaches do in this league that have, if you're going to go on 3rd down and throw the ball, it's going downfield 30, 40, 50 yards. You're trying to get a chunk because your intention is, if you don't get that, is you're going to go on 4th down because that's a high percentage 4th down. Fact that he threw the ball, threw some little short pass and missed on it, and then they punted the ball away on 4th and 1 at midfield. I don't get it. There were times that he was throwing passes when they had 7-man coverages and double covered guys he's throwing to. And, I'm like, where's the run? You're not running the ball, so they don't expect you to run. And they just play the pass. There was no reason for that. But as far as you go, to their credit, with all of the nonsense there was a lot of bad that come from this game. They were leading the game with 37 seconds left. This is why I say that I am more impressed with this team in this defeat than I was beating a couple of teams that really weren't very good to start with, uh, in a couple of wins. So what I was impressed with was the fact that they did not quit. And even though they weren't playing well, they kept playing hard and they clawed their way back into that game. So I guess, when it
So,
comes,
I would like to recap too to add on to that. So the reason why on this show, guys, we're going to bring another perspective is because we can simply do the same thing that a lot of people are doing, react and recite. Oh man, the defense did this, the defense didn't do that. Man, the defense, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's talk about the totality of this team. Let's talk about the offense. In week 1, are you really going to blame the defense for the Lions comeback when Kyle Shanahan, the offensive guru, pulled out his starters, put them in a situation because of fear of injury? He's coaching on fear and conservation, right? Week 1, coach on fear and conservation. Pulled out starters. They came back. Now you ask your starters to, after sitting out, now they got to go back and try to perform to close the deal. Fortunately, we won that game. Week 2, George Kittle. How many targets did George Kittle get? He's used more damn near for blocking as opposed to catching. So are you
add,
really going to blame the
week
defense?
1 to that. Add week 1 to
Yeah.
that because it's the same way.
Okay, so you have 2 weeks where George Kittle's targets were very low. He's used as another offensive lineman. He's he's the top premier tight end in the NFL, and he's being used as an old lineman. Like let's rationalize what actually is happening as opposed to just reacting on what these announcers are saying. Because the thing is, when I hear Niner fans talk, because I don't watch media like I've been saying, and I hear these fans and they're saying, "Did you see this? Did you see that?" And I asked them, "Well, where'd you get this from?" "Oh man, they were talking on TV. That's their source." I'm like, okay, so what did you see? Stop talking about what these analysts see. We're talking about what did you see as a Niner fan. These analysts don't watch our teams. None of these analysts, from what people are reciting, none of them have said anything about pulling out the starters. Instead, it was the Niners defense gave up a lot of points. And the second one, they was like, we didn't do this, we didn't do that. And we didn't give George Kittle a lot of targets. We should have been killing the Eagles' linebacking core. So third week comes in, George Kittle targets go up a little bit more, but we don't utilize our running game. with Trace Herman. In fact, he had 10 carries. Juszczyk might have had half of that, but at the end of the day, Trace Herman was not used enough to the point to where we know Garoppolo's not a deep ball guy. And with the way the refs are throwing flags left and right for deep balls, just for every pass interference that I don't even agree with, we could have took some deep shots, but Garoppolo's not doing that. So play to your strengths. Run the football, make them respect the run, and then you go beat them with the pass game. It was evident that Kyle Shanahan didn't have a lot of confidence in a lot of stuff because Jim Garoppolo had a goal line play with 3 downs to get 1 yard and failed. Not one time did he quarterback sneak, which was his strength, which is 100% effective. If you look at Jimmy Garoppolo fans, I'm going to ask you, for all the people criticizing defense, why are you silent on Jimmy Garoppolo not having a quarterback sneak on 1 yard to go in the goal line and having 3 attempts? Not one time was the quarterback sneak done. They had to bring in Trey Lance on 4th down to make us score. Jimmy Garoppolo could have easily scored 1 out of 4 times. If he quarterback sneaks 4 times, he's going to score 1 of those times.
Hold on. Jimmy Garoppolo has attempted in his career the quarterback sneak 34 times. Do you know how many times he did not get that 1 yard? 0.
Exactly.
0. It's a play that works for him. He's good at it. And the fact that you would be in a position like a 3rd and 1 and a 4th and 1 and you don't utilize him for that, I don't understand. You know, Kyle, I think sometimes gets in his own head and tries to be too cute. Uh, so I have some deals with that, but he's not in his 3rd game as a play caller or a head coach for that matter. So I'm going to be a bit more critical of him than I'm going to be of a defensive coordinator in his 3rd game. But and as far as Jimmy, man, I'm not even going to say the words and the thoughts that come to my mind when I see Jimmy. The bottom line is he is afraid. He's afraid when it comes to taking those hits. When those guys are coming at him, he turns his body away. And he hasn't just done this just on that one play where he turned his body and threw the ball backwards. It was times where he'll throw the ball and then you'll see him flinch and turn around and brace himself. He's an NFL quarterback. The thing you have to do more than anything is you got to stare down the barrel of that gun when it's coming at you. It's, it's not for everybody, but ever since he had that 2018 injury against Kansas City and missed the rest of the season, he has been gun shy. And I never seen him do anything to that degree like I saw, but that's 3 points that could have been the difference in this game. I don't know if it would, but hey, everything that is a factor in them scoring points when you lose by 2 on a last-second field goal is a factor in that win or loss.
And I'm speaking on my behalf. I'm going to, say that I know a lot of fans were saying the 37 seconds we should have ran off more time. Listen, I understand the logic in giving the ball back to Aaron Rodgers with 37 seconds, but look, your defense prior to that had a 4 down out stop. Prior to that, had a 3 and out stop where they got him off the field. Your defense in the last few possessions prior to that actually showed up. The problem is we were more scared of Aaron Rodgers than we are executing from our defense. And that tells me that I don't care damn what quarterback it is, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, okay, they make comebacks good for them. Your defense has to step up. It's no guarantee that we were going to score in the red zone because it was apparent Jimmy Garoppolo, with this limited play calling, for some reason that Kyle Shanahan is doing, he didn't run a quarterback sneak. Remember, we were on the goal line, okay, 3 times attempts that Jimmy Garoppolo had and couldn't even get 1 yard. They had to bring in a rookie quarterback to score. And they didn't really have to bring Trey Lance. They could have quarterback sneak, as Nate alluded to. Why not go to your bread and butter? Why not use a quarterback sneak? The entire game on all 4th and 1s, 3rd and 1s, not one time there was a quarterback sneak. It worked against Philadelphia. It worked every time he ran it for his career. Why go away from your strength? This is the stuff people don't talk about, but they're so quick to just talk about the last 37 seconds, as if when we went forward, when we punted on 4th and 1, we couldn't have got that first down. Quarterback sneaks 100%. If Nate just sat here and told you Garoppolo's career is 100% on quarterback sneaks, why not? Why not? Our O line is better than their D line. We can get a push for 1 yard, but we didn't do it.
Yeah.
Instead, we would run plays like, I'm not saying we did this on 3rd and 1, but we would run plays, here and there, trying to throw them off with a Debo run, which they kind of read that. Then we
Yeah.
got Kittle on the run. He got a little 8-yard gain, but then we went away from Trey Sermon. We pass on 3rd and 1. So you run on 2nd and long and pass on 3rd and short. Just think about it. That was the theme the entire night. If you pay attention, not one time did the quarterback sneak. He rarely gave the ball to Trey Sermon. So it was that to me, that was more frustrating because you're putting our defense in a position to be on the field longer and ask more of them than they should. Our defense is down in the secondary. That we have a rookie going against one of the best receivers in the league, and they made it known that they're going to exploit the matchup. So it doesn't matter if your pass rush or your D line is better than their O line. Aaron Rodgers getting the ball out in less than 2 seconds, your pass rush is irrelevant. It's your secondary that they were picking on, and that got exploited. And we knew coming into the season, San Francisco's Achilles on the defense is secondary due to the fact that we got injury-prone guys. We got guys on these 1-year contracts. And when Verrett's gone, his presence is missed. Now you got a rookie stepping in. And no disrespect to our rookie, he did the best he could. But, hey, it's not easy guarding Adams in a game like that. Then you got a veteran in Norman who hasn't played in a while, but he's coming here. He got hurt. He went down. So we were thin. So the reality is our defense, our edge defense and our line, our strength was negated by a quick out, getting the ball out quick and then exploiting our matchups. Why didn't we counter doing similar? Why didn't we go deep? Because Jimmy doesn't go deep. He's limited in that. It's frustrating when you got an offense that has basically what I'm saying is, to make it clear, I expect our offense to win games more so this year because we have the ability on offense to destroy these teams, and we didn't maximize our offense. Instead, we relied on our defense to shut teams down and minimize them and try to come in when the offense is not hot. So, like I said, 17-0 means, yeah, we gave up 17 points, but that also means our offense ain't do a damn thing. And nobody had nothing to say about our offense. You know what I mean? It's a total 3-phase team game. So I'm not going to harp on that too much, but I just want to get it off my chest because it's frustrating seeing our fans criticize one side of the ball when there's 3 phases of the game, and I didn't hear nobody address this offense. It's ridiculous. And we're quick to listen to some commentators who don't even watch our team in depth like we do. We're on Sunday night, so they watch that, but they ain't watching the plays like we watch. They don't care when we play the Eagles or the Lions. Green Bay is a premier game. That's what they're going to watch. So just my opinion, man.
Yeah. On the back of that, when you're talking about the defense, this is where I'm going to be critical of the coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Rightfully so.
When it come down to early in the game, especially, one of the things they were doing was playing a lot of man coverage. Why are you going to play man coverage when the claim to fame of Aaron Rodgers is fade stops, back shoulder fades? You're in a man-to-man, so you've got to cover the back end of the field. And so since you're covering the back end, you've got to play behind him. You can't play the trail technique. And because of that, all they got to do is put on the brakes. There's the ball, easy pitch and catch. He was hitting everything because it was that easy. You cannot play man coverage when you are outmanned. So they didn't really decide to mix it up until later, and they were much more successful when they started, mixing coverages. And I will say, without question, I see somebody in the chat saying that we were out coached. Absolutely, on both sides of the ball. And that's
Agree with that.
the big reason we lost this game is we were outcoached, because we were outplayed. But honestly, guys, we're so much better than them. That's why it was a game. We played terrible, and they just barely squeaked out of there on a last second field goal because we are that much better than them. And I also saw in the comments somebody saying about we play this way, forget about the season. Relax. It's one game. It's one game. Yeah. Um,
It's early too.
yeah. And it's a 17 game schedule. We're only 3 in and we're 2-1. It's not a bad place to be. Um, there's some tough games, but really, when it gets down to it, guys, this is kind of a cream puff schedule overall. So, yeah, season's far from over. It's just getting started.
They're gonna have to get that
Yeah.
secondary fixed though.
Well,
Secondary, it's all about making the proper adjustments to play the coverage they need to play to be able to, you know, reel this in. Because basically, with what they have, they can play some excellent bend and don't break kind of coverages. And it'll be tough for a lot of teams because once you play that way and you get guys off of that first read, then you get that pass rush that gets to do something. You know, when Aaron Rodgers throws a bunch of passes and like 80% of them are gone in 2.5 seconds, I don't even have to block the guy most of the time and he's not going to get there. So, unless it's from the interior, but an outside guy on a wide 2.5 seconds, the ball's gone most of the time. Yeah, he's not getting there.
True.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, man, it was just Green Bay. Ironically, was said that their season's over the way they got blew up by the Saints, and then look what happened. Now the whole narrative is our season's over. People change week to week like an emotional roller coaster. Like it's 3 games into the season. People, let's not overreact. Yes, our defense, and on this show, guys, just to be clear, it's not that we're not acknowledging the flaws of the defense. We're actually acknowledging the flaws of totality and emphasizing the offensive flaws a little more, only because you guys are going in on the defense so much. Nobody's saying anything. I'm just hearing silence. So we're going to address and acknowledge that, make it clear. But yes, we are critical of the defense as well, as Nate alluded to. There are certainly a lot of things that we could do better. But at the end of the day, we didn't, and we got to come complete on all sides. So one of the best plays that I was excited about was coming out of the half when special teams, there was a Cannon, came out there, made a great run.
That was first half, right?
First half. Okay.
Yeah. Got us our first touchdown. That was the return.
But on the special teams, that came through and that helped uplifted us. I'm gonna be honest. I'm holding the offense to a higher standard because, like Nate said earlier, I agree with him. Kyle Shanahan he is the head coach. It starts with him. He's been here in the system for years. Michael Ryans is first time at this level of defensive coach in 3 games. So I don't know what that was, but
Sorry about that.
At the end of the day, I'm not gonna critique the defense so hard at that point. I will say, hey, they need to do this better. Fine. Offensively, what is our excuse for being shut out 17-0 to the damn Green Bay Packers? Can somebody help me understand what is our excuse? I don't want to hear that we didn't have Elijah Mitchell, or we didn't have this, we didn't have that. We don't have to have Raheem Mostert and Elijah Mitchell to beat the Green Bay Packers. There's no excuse to be shut out to 0. Period. So when you have this guru and you're perceived as a guru or offensive mind, and you're showing shadows of, the traits that are haunting you that we see come about, and it's happening 3 weeks in a row now. Yeah, I'm gonna feel a certain way, so I'm gonna say something. And if I stand on my own, so be it. I'm gonna feel how I feel, man. And I feel like Kyle Shanahan is playing conservative and scared. When you pull out your starters in an NFL, you're not. It's not like it was 2 minutes left in the game. You're talking about the whole fourth quarter, late third quarter, maybe whole fourth quarter. That's still some time for a team to hit you for a couple points, onside kick, and be in the game again. As you saw, what the hell are you doing pulling out your starters that early? You took your foot off the gas. And Kyle Shanahan knows from the Super Bowl, the first criticism that he had was taking his foot off the gas, getting comfortable with leads, blowing leads. And the more he continues to do that, it's going to strengthen that perception. So I'm just tired of it, man. Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. I love him. I'm not going to suggest firing him like some fanatics are doing. I'm just saying he got to be more consistent. He got to go back to what actually works. Keep it simple. Run the damn football. Use Trey Sermon. He can do it. You got to use him. You know what I mean? You got to get him more involved. And I'm glad to see Brendan Ayuk have a little bit more presence this game. Hopefully it picks up more. But other than that, man, I'm not mad at the interception that he threw to Kittle. I'm glad he took a shot for Kittle. That was just a great defensive play. Jimmy once again overthrew it, but it was a great defensive play nonetheless. But that damn backspin, backflip, throw, whatever you want to call it, like, guys, you give the defense, he really gave the defense more time on the field than they should. And it was those turnovers resulting in like 10 points. At some point, man, like we got to start addressing these things. I'm just tired of the offense playing less than average. I feel like we are better than this.
And they are. And actually, this team should be carried by the offense. There's no excuse
Correct.
for
I agree. The offense is our strength. I'm being honest. Right now, the offense is our strength. Defense,
not. It should be our strength, and it's not been to this point.
correct. But I'm saying the offense is our strength as far as expectations go. Defense, there's some holes back there in the secondary. We get it. Some younger guys, but offensively, we got too much experience out there to be 17-0 to the damn Green Bay Packers who got shut out by New Orleans. Like, come on, man. I'm not gonna let that go. I'm sorry. Until Kyle Shanahan puts up points consistently and is scoring, I expect Kyle Shanahan to have, a lot of productivity on offense.
I wonder what's going through Kyle Shanahan's mind, especially with not really using Trey Sermon a lot. I mean, like Nick said the other day, we were talking. He said, like, if you're going to put him in the lineup, why not use him? The fact that they didn't use him, and we used Juice more than we have in a long time, and that tells you a lot when you didn't use Trey Sermon. So I was kind of a little disappointed in that. So I don't know what's going on with Kyle, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, bottom line, we are one of those kind of very balanced teams. We threw the ball 40 times. We ran it 20. Trey Sermon had 10 carries. It's almost like he didn't want to give him the ball.
Yeah.
And for a long time in there, he had the one play where the darn defensive lineman was in the backfield, and then Trey Sermon drops a pass, and he disappeared for like a quarter. You didn't see him after that for a while. And they're running use check, and they're running Kittle, and they tried to run Deebo Samuel a couple of times, which didn't work at all. And they were doing it in the most predictable of times, because one of the things, I don't know what people noticed and what they didn't, but Green Bay was running a 5-man front when they thought we would run the ball. And we were running into the 5-man front. Wasn't doing very well. But when they figured out a little bit and started throwing into the 5-man front and running into the 4-man front, it started to work better. So, yeah.
And here's the bottom line, guys. If our offense doesn't get out to a faster start going forward against quality teams with good quarterbacks, we're probably going to be in another dogfight like this again and might come up on the losing end again. That's just the way it's, possibility going to happen. We are playing some team in Washington. So with that quarterback that they have in there and those pathetic fans that they have, I definitely want to make sure that we do our part as an offense to hold and carry this team down, because our defense will do enough to keep us in every game. That I'm not worried about. Even if they get out to a slow start on defense. I guess my expectations are for the offense. Kyle Shanahan has been here for a long time. Hey, man, you got all your pieces. You drafted these guys. Now it's time to put up a shut up. You got Brendan Ayuk in the first round. You got Deebo Samuel. You got George Kittle late. You got your fullback. You got your quarterback that you inherited and you're working with. So you should know by now, hey, what are the strengths and weaknesses of this team? You should be out there executing. Simple as that. I feel like with all this talent that we have, that other team in Washington has a phenomenal quarterback, but they do a lot more with less. And we have more than them. but yet we're in dogfights with them every time we play, and we're in dogfights with some other teams. So, I just hope that we maximize our potential. I'm tired of playing under our potential. We gotta have a higher ceiling. And I don't even think fans realize how good our offense really can be, because they're so used to the defense being so stud and elite. They're not realizing this year, this roster, this is not the same exact defense that we had, in years past. There's some more holes in the secondary. It's a little bit more younger guys. We still have a good defense, though, but we don't have Drake Greenlaw right now. We don't have Verrett. We're missing that leadership in Richard Sherman. So there's some changes on the defense. But on the offense, nothing has much changed. You still got all these pieces. So come on, man. We got to get better. We got to score faster.
Yeah, additional ones, offensive line upgrades.
Way upgrade on the O-line. We got the best O-line that we've had in San Francisco since Harbaugh days, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And
an
infusion of youth at the running back position, even though it's pretty decimated with injury.
Exactly. So when we start holding our offense accountable to live up to the standard, I'm not going to sit here and let our defensive coach or defensive players be crucified and everybody solid on the offense. It just does not make sense to me. So I'm going to speak up and address the offensive issues and woes that everybody's just letting fly under the radar for some reason. If we're going to be better, we got to hold our leaders accountable. Kyle Shanahan's a coach. When he's doing great, I'm going to give him props. I've defended Kyle Shanahan, especially after that Super Bowl loss. You can check it out on the shows if you got the replays. I was the first one to defend him. But I'll also be the first one to say, hey, man, Kyle, what's going on, bro? You doing some questionable play calling here. I'm not understanding. 3 downs with Garoppolo and no one quarterback sneak, and it takes a rookie to score on 4th down. Man, it's crazy. If Trey Lance comes into the game, you best believe majority of the time he's going to run the football. He's being used on plays to just run because he's athletically good enough to get around that edge and get us in the end zone. But you get a team that anticipates that run, they might stop him on the 4th down. Yeah. But you got a quarterback who's 100% on quarterback sneaks.
Yeah.
Why not use it?
Yeah. It was a well-executed play, by the way.
It was. It works, but it's again, quarterback sneak has been your bread and butter historically. Prior to Trey Lance, it's been working 100%.
Yeah. So, there were only 2 really good short yardage calls in that whole game. One was the little trickery where Juszczyk went in motion and then he took the direct snap. He got under center, took the snap, and basically ran his own version of a quarterback sneak. That was a good one. And the Trey Lance option, Trent Williams killed somebody out there on the edge, and the center kind of got a piece of a safety that was trying to get to Lance and made it real easy for him to get in there. It was well executed. Both of those were well executed.
Yeah, and what's funny is if our team goes on a roll, and let's say we start steamrolling some teams and we beat the Rams, all this stuff about I don't like this, I don't like that, it's going to start to change. I mean, I heard fans just last week saying they love the way the defense looked, holding Philly to 11 points, to just come to this week and say, fire everybody or get rid of this. Like, man, it's crazy. 3 games in and they already ready to fire. Who you going to get? Anybody talking about firing Kyle Shanahan or somebody else, who are you going to get right now that's available today, this moment, that's going to come to San Francisco 49ers and do better? Who are you going to get? So when you talk about firing somebody, you better have a damn good candidate in mind, and they can't be equal. They must be better. Tell me your coach that's available better than Kyle Shanahan right now. I don't know any. Be my guest.
Most of the ones coaching are not better than him.
Yeah, so let's simmer that down. We can be frustrated. It's understood that we're not happy. And again, defense has a lot of mistakes and errors, but I'm just choosing today to not highlight them in detail because I want to highlight offense. And I'm coming in here challenging 49er fans to see totality versus what these media talking heads make you think. Let's think for ourselves and stop reacting and reciting. because these talking heads don't know a damn thing about our team. Keep saying that over and over. These are the same people that picked us to go 3-13 that year, and we went 13-3. They had y'all thinking we was gonna be trash. You watch our team, you know damn well the way we were building, we were like, hey, we're gonna have a good year. We didn't know 13-3, but we knew we was gonna have a good damn year. So come on, man. Let's watch the games in totality and let's be our own critic and our own assessment versus talking head people who read off of a script. Can't make y'all stop watching them, but just saying, keep that in your mind, man, when you hear these people react. But Beto,
Yeah.
what's up, man? I see you got back in chill mode, man. We ain't want to isolate you, brother. What's going on, man?
No. I'm just listening. I'm listening and watching you, the two pros.
I dig your hat. I like your hat.
Well, I appreciate that. You got to wear my Ronnie Lott jersey. But no, yeah, I know yesterday's game was there was a lot of blame to go around. Jimmy had his faults. Kyle definitely had his faults. I expected more from the offense in this game. The defense can't do it all. And I got to give credit where credit is due, man. The Green Bay Packers offensive line, they played better than what I expected them to play. And they protected very well. I mean, they were on their third tackle, and you pretty much, for the most part, handled. They double teamed a lot, but they knew they came up with a scheme plan, and they executed pretty perfectly. Getting the ball out quickly did not allow us to get to the quarterback. So kudos to the coaching, kudos to the players for executing, and they wanted it more than Kyle. And you can tell Kyle was livid, though, with that when Jimmy turned around and dropped the ball. And that, by the way, that cost us 3 points, and we lost by 2. So do the math. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. But, Jimmy backing up like that, and people were arguing about it wasn't a fumble. People don't realize if you throw the ball down forward, it's not a fumble. If you turn around and it's a lateral, it's a fumble. And he did that. And you can see it, like Nate said, you see it in his face, man. He was embracing the hit. He was more concerned about the hit than anything else, man. And, yeah, you can't play scared like that. It's still too early to put in the other kid in. So I know a lot of people are. And, when Jimmy makes mistakes like that, people are going to go after his head and they're going to try to blame it on him. But this is what I said. At the end of the game, Jimmy, after all his mistakes, he still was able to go down the field, threw some good plays. Kudos to Debo for bailing him out once, and then also Kittle for that big play. But we got the ball down, and then we gave it to Juice, and Juice punched it in. At that point, it was up to the defense to, 37 seconds. Who would have thunk it, right? 37 seconds, no timeout, starting in their own 25-yard line. I know it's Aaron Rodgers, but give me a break. 2 plays, 2 big completions. That wasn't on Jimmy.
Yeah, but I had a bad feeling. But there's a whole lot of other stuff that was on Jimmy, like backwards passes because I'm doing a pirouette because I'm afraid. When it came down to it, I was really hoping that Kyle Juszczyk would get tackled down near the goal line because they had no timeouts.
Yep.
It would have ate up a lot of that time, perhaps pretty much all of it. Yeah. And it wouldn't have been where you could throw 2 passes down the middle of the field because you didn't have time for that. So, yeah, it was we needed to score. It was unfortunate, as the outcome turned out. But had he not scored right there, yeah, we probably win the game as terrible as we played.
Yep. Yeah. So, Jimmy did what he had to do. And like you said, 37 seconds, no timeout. You play a little bit better defense. We're winning that game. We're 3-0. But 2 passes to Devontae Adams. And then how are you going to leave him open like that twice? He was open. It wasn't like there was anybody shadowing him. So
that was straight prevent defense, man. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you say earlier?
Said, yeah, prevented us from winning.
Yeah, that's what I love. We said that. Prevent defense prevented us from winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible, man. That was, you know, and Cosby, you know, he's a good kicker, man. He don't miss very much. So, you know, when you have a kicker like that, like Robbie Gold, you know, they're studs at that. So it was tough though. But like you said, a loss is still a loss, and people are going to mourn the loss because we're 2-1. But to your point, Nate, earlier you said that you were more impressed with the loss than you were with both wins. And one of the things that I seen too was the fight. It was still the, you know, when you're 17-0, it's hard to come back from. It really is, especially a team like Green Bay. And to claw back to get that touchdown at the end before the half, and then to be able to come out of the half and you know you need to score in that first possession, and you did, and then you did that, and you were able to bring it down to 3 points. But you just can't allow Devontae to get open like that so freely. And to Nate's point, to a lot of people, to Mike's as well, D'Amico Ryans, a lot of people were trying to get his head, but this is his third game. If I recall, and a lot of people, we miss Robert Saleh. Well, that when Robert Saleh took over in 2017, how did he do his first year?
No, you don't. You don't miss him.
But what I'm saying, but how did he do his first year? Terrible.
How did he do his second year?
Second, yeah. So hopefully they won't take D'Amico that much. But you know, it's funny. Week 2, D'Amico Ryans is the hero, right? Everybody wants him to be a head coach. Week 3, they want him fired. And it's like, man, talk about being emotional, man.
Yeah, but my thing is, again, how many times do we have to hear, we got to clean this up, we got to do this? At this point, man, Kyle Shanahan, I'm holding him to a higher standard. I don't give a damn.
You should.
I don't care if I stand on my own. Kyle Shanahan, I expect more from you. I expect this offense to carry this team, and I expect the defense to do enough to help win. I don't expect the defense to carry this team. I expect the offense to do such. I don't give a damn how good our pass rush is. I don't give a damn how good we can be on defense and dominate, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is our offense has more of experience across the board in totality, and I feel like we should be killing, all right, putting up. We should not get off to a 17-0 start. You know what I mean? And then making it harder. So, you know, if this loss is what it takes for Kyle Shanahan to get back to what makes him successful, running the football, keeping it more simple, simplifying things for the team, and being able to get them comfortable, I think we'll be a much better product out there in the field. But until then, you know, I'm going to tell you, man, I had an issue with not going deep a lot. I don't give a damn if Garoppolo's clock is not wired to go deep. The refs were just throwing PI flags everywhere. Why the hell we can't take a shot here and there?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a
what's
good
the
point.
chance? It's a 50-50 shot. They were throwing PI flags like it was nothing, like it was donating to the damn field. So throw a damn deep ball for the hell of it. But we didn't really do a lot of that. So we got that little team in Washington. So we got to do our best to play our game. Once again, traditionally how we played them, it's been harder than it should be. We have a better team than them. They have a much better quarterback. So we should beat them. But what we should do and what we actually do are two different things. Let's see how we come out. I'm going to be watching the offense. Honestly, I'm not worried about the defense. I feel like our defense will keep us in every game enough to win. I want to see what our offense is going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to make a point from Javier Rios says, I keep hearing Kittle say it's going to be it's a learning lesson. Listen, maybe I'm wrong in this, but there's only so much Kittle or the players can really say to the media behind the pew. I mean, these guys they can't really express how they feel. They have to, you know, they're scripted. They have to say certain things. If you got the unscripted Kittle, you would hear a different type of Kittle's language. So, you know, they have to say what they have to say, man, because they don't want people to take it out of context. So, you know, what else are they going to do? But I know they're pissed. I know they're mad at Kyle Shanahan for certain plays, but what can they do? They just got to go out, do their job, and execute. But I can see the frustration. And the thing, like you said about the Niners having to do better against Seattle. Listen, we had to cover one good quarterback and Aaron Rodgers and one good receiver in Devontae, and we struggled. Now we're having a good quarterback in Russell Wilson and two good receivers in Lockett and DK. So they're going to have to do something in that secondary. But the offense, they're going to have to run the ball. It just seems like, I don't. Maybe it's me, but the offense runs off how well they run the ball. If they can run the ball well, it sets up for the play action. And if they can't get that run game going, it somehow just messes up with Kyle. And they couldn't get that ball. They couldn't get that game running at all. And one of the things that the Green Bay came in is to stop the run. When they realized they didn't have to worry about the run, man, it was open season, a frenzy defensively, and that's why they were able to do what they did with that hurting defense. They were able to get to us because they didn't have to worry about the run because we weren't running. I think the one that had the most run was what, Juice and Kyle. I mean Sermon. Yeah. So and that wasn't many. How many snaps you said he got? 10?
10.
Yeah,
10.
snaps,
Come on,
man.
your starting
That's
running
it.
back gets 10.
The whole game.
And the rest
Come
of
on.
the team only had 10. So it was 20.
20 total, bro. And against a defense, they can't stop the run.
Yeah.
And you're gonna run just 10. You're gonna give it to your quarterback, just running back, 10 times. And you're gonna
And
throw
if
it
you're
for 40
Green Bay-
times.
If you're Green Bay's defense, you know Garoppolo doesn't have the ability to extend the play like that. So all the motion and misdirection we were doing, it really meant nothing. You just keep your eye on the ball at that point because you're like, okay, Garoppolo ain't finna take off and run. So we already know he's either going to keep hand it off to running back or the guy running across. It was easier to read. When you have a mobile quarterback for that type of offense, it's a lot harder to defend because you don't know if the quarterback's going to keep it a run, the running back or receiver coming around, tight end. There's so much going on, but it limits, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
so,
but you take away the middle too. Take away the middle, and what does Jimmy do? That's his bread and butter's in the middle. You take away that middle, which they did a lot. What does Jimmy do? He doesn't throw on the outside that much.
Well, so in that case, you play to your strengths. Jimmy Garoppolo's a game manager. Manage the game. That's it. Don't throw a backwards pass.
Don't get scared.
Yeah,
get scared.
play to your strengths. That's what you do. You got to give Trey Sermon more than 10 attempts to run the football in a game.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
absolutely.
I'm sorry. The man is a third round draft pick,
Yep.
right? You know what I mean? I'm sorry. If you're gonna draft a running back in the third round just to give him 10 attempts, I mean, what the hell are we doing here?
Why even start him? Like Nate said, why start him if you're not going to use him?
Well, he was our best option considering what we have left from a depleted running back.
He didn't get used.
Didn't use him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the point, yeah.
Well, no, you asked why he started him. I'm saying that's why he started him.
No. I hear what you're saying. No, and you're right. That's why they started him. But my point is, I was kind of like directing this to Kyle. Like, if you're going to start, if he's your best running back, you're going to start him. Why not utilize his potential on the field? Even if you still feed him and let him do what he does. You know what I mean?
Same reason why he didn't utilize the best tight end in football the first few weeks. Like, it's a consistent pattern.
That's a scratcher too.
It ain't just Sermon. He didn't even utilize Kittle. Kittle's blocking.
Yeah, what is going on with Kyle? Not really break it down, man.
I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Used him, but
go ahead, boss.
Forgot about the running game.
I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think Kyle, when he became a coach, there's some things that he has to learn. And I was telling Boss Hater this off record. And this is just my humble opinion. I don't give a damn what structure you're in. When you're coming into a leadership role and it's brand new to you, no matter how much experience you had calling plays, you have more to manage as a head coach. Who is his overseer to hold him accountable when things are not going right? Who does he have to pull him aside and say, hey, Kyle, hey, man, you need to run Sermon more. Hey, man, you need to give Kittle more targets. The media asked him that, but his answers are deflective. Well, we did this, we did that, and we saw this, and Debo had this. You're still not answering the question. You're still not understanding. It doesn't matter what Debo does. Great that we spread the ball and have another threat. I'm happy to hear that. But I don't give a damn. George Kittle is the best tight end in football. Why the hell is he not used?
Yeah.
So
your best receiver.
You see what I'm saying? He's our number one receiving threat.
You got to
give a damn what nobody say.
Yes.
You got to get targets to him. So I'm just saying, Kyle Shanahan to me has so much to manage, and when you lose staff on your offense, like the guy that went to the Jets, one of his offensive guys on his staff went to the Jets, and he's trying to fill that void and probably manage some of that role now. I don't know. That's how I feel, but I see you shaking your head, Nate, but bottom line is when you have guys that have some type of contribution to a team that depart, somebody has to fulfill that role. And Kyle Shanahan, to me, seems to like, okay, the impression that I'm getting is, hey, I'm going to manage this. I'm going to take on this responsibility. That's how I feel. Am I right? I don't know, but that's how I feel. If a guy departs from your team, who fills that void? Who manages it? Who's the one to sit there and say, hey, this is what we're going to do? Because it's gone. So somebody has to fill the void. Who's filling the void? Did he hire somebody to replace him, or did he just take it on himself? So he hired somebody to replace him, right? Now, what is his responsibility? How well does this guy adjust that he hired? How well does he do the things that his previous guy did? All that little stuff factors in. So Kyle doesn't like something. It's like, who's overseeing Kyle? That's what I'm saying. He's got experience as a coach, but he's very young. But who's overseeing him?
Nobody, because I don't think York.
Correct.
I think York is scared of him.
He's the head coach. No one oversees him. It's like when it comes down to it, the owner has the hammer, but he's the head coach. When it comes to football operations, when we're talking about what happens on the field, that is 100% the head coach. Nobody
Exactly.
The coach.
So, well,
general manager, that's personnel stuff. That has nothing to do with what goes on the field.
In the field, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's my whole point, though. Nobody oversees, and most head coaches have an overseer. But when a head coach has delegated responsibilities to where he can manage more and not have to worry about putting so much on him to do things, it makes it seem like, hey, he has a little bit more control over managing things like that. He calls his own plays. He's done a great job. I want to see him get back to what works. I'm saying he's getting away from that. It's apparent by his play calling. When's the last time you've seen us come out the first 3 weeks in his tenure where he has underutilized his running game and George Kittle?
By any chance, could it be that McDaniels is actually doing the play call and he's supporting them? And this is why you see
that's not happening.
I didn't think either, but I figured I'd throw it in there just because of it's like this year is completely different from last year on what he's doing, man, and it's head scratching. I know he's a great coordinator. A lot of these coaches, they're great at one position to coordinate the position, but they just can't overrun the whole. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good head coach, but yeah. And then trying to look cute and be cute and doing all these trying to beat LaFleur over there, and not giving the ball to Sermon, not playing Kittle when, like you said, he's our best tight end, best receiver, and you give him the ball. At least you give him at least 10, 15 times a game. You can say whatever you want to say about Kelsey, but he gets fed. You know what I mean? He gets fed. He gets fed over there. He might not do much, but he gets fed. They know that that's his. I know he does. But you know what I mean. But even if let me rephrase it. Even if he wasn't doing much, they will still feed him because they know that he has the potential to break loose and cause something. Why not do the same thing with Kittle? And that's what I don't understand about Kyle. Kyle gets in his ways and his moods, man. If he just doesn't want to go to you, he doesn't. And I don't understand why that is. I'm really puzzled by that. What's up, Christian Carver? Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show. The Rams. Who cares about the Rams? But I hear you. The Rams definitely going to be a competition in the West, man. They're, the good thing Seattle lost. But hey, on that note, though, Nate said that earlier. They're 1-2, man. So they're going to come into the hungry, and I know Russell Wilson does not want to go 1-3. So they're going to bring everything. So let me ask you guys, what do the Niners need to do on offense, from your perspective, your opinions, that they didn't do this week? Let me rephrase it. What should they not do, what they did this week, if they want to win against Seattle? We're going to start with Nate, and then we'll ask Mike.
Number one, execute. Definitely get away from all the little trying to overthink, short yardage situations, and just go at it. And bottom line, when you got a 4th down and it's a 4th and short and you're at midfield,
yeah,
you don't punt the ball. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't get that. That's like giving away a possession.
Especially when you have a quarterback that actually is good at something.
Yeah, I mean, that's his, if he doesn't get anything right, he gets that right.
Yeah. So why wouldn't, yeah. Even if they know it's coming, he gets it right. So yeah, that's a scratcher. And then, like you said, and then when they're 2 seconds left, 4th and 2, and they go for it and they get it, which is good. But they go for that, but they don't go on the 4th and 1 at the 50-yard line, which makes question his ability. So what's your unless you're done, Nate? What's your thoughts there, Mike?
Well, it obviously depends on matchups. But overall, I would like to see Trey Sermon get more than 10 damn carries. Um, and I would like to see us utilize our strengths more consistently. I'm tired of us, trying to outthink the defense when we simply are just better, where we can just simply do basic things and outperform the defense. I didn't see anything about Green Bay to where I felt like they were better than us to where we had to go do these crazy run plays to Debo and use check and Kittle. When you got Trey Sermon, just run down their throats, man. Keep it simple. Your line is better than their D line. So if they stack the box and they dare you to pass, then you do your thing. You beat them passing. But I just feel like we got to run more. We got to consistently stick to what our bread and butter is and stop. I feel like we're adjusting to other teams to out scheme them when we already are just better than them. Just beat them. You got the talent. You upgraded your old line. This is the best offensive line we had since Kyle Shanahan has been coach. You don't need to do any trickeries. Not a lot. You can do it here and there, sure, but 3rd and 1, run the damn ball. Your line is better. You got one of the best old lines in the league. What the hell are you going?
Or why not just, especially if you're on the plus side of the field, why not just, throw one up? Play action, throw one up. And if you don't get it on 3rd down, now you're going on 4th down, 4th and 1. I mean, to me, it's just a free play. I don't know why, 4th and 1 is such a high percentage play that it just doesn't make sense to give it away unless you're like deep in your own territory. But you're on the plus side of the field, 50-yard line or better. You don't kick the ball on 4th down, not on 4th and 1. For what?
Yeah, and like Mike was saying, the damn refs were giving PIs like it was yesterday's newspaper. So even then, that the referees are calling that. So why not throw it up and see what happens? And maybe your receiver gets called.
Absolutely.
And if you don't get it, then you go for it on 4th and 1 with the quarterback sneak.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen other than an interception? Incomplete pass or no flag? Okay, fine. Then you run it on 4th and 1. Quarterback sneak, keep it going. And keep throwing that damn thing downfield with that type of crew. But we probably won't have that crew next game. So whatever, we got to play to our strengths, man. Man, it's a game. It's simple. Play to our strengths. Stop doing all the stupid stuff and just play what wins. If Raheem Mostert was there, I'm sure we would have ran the ball a lot more than 10 times.
If Elijah Mitchell was there, we would have ran the ball more than 10 times.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I think Kyle Shanahan, man, just has to – I don't know. He has to get confident, man, with his players. He has – that one drop, Trey Sermon was out for a while, man. Like, come on, man, one drop. It's almost like you're to the guillotine if you don't make this play. Let him come back out there. Trey Sermon has talent. With this O-line,
you don't take him in the 3rd round for no reason.
With this O-line, he will perform. We have a system proven. We can take any running back and make them look better than what Jeff Wilson Jr. has played pretty decent. And he's not even in the top 3 we've had recently until now. Jermichael Hasty has looked okay with this O-line. Anybody can look good. So Trey Sermon is actually a good talent. So play him. Let him run.
Eric says that he thinks the concern with Sermon is his pass protection.
Man, listen.
That's not why he wasn't running football.
Yeah. Hey, listen, when Sermon wasn't in there, we had problems with pass protection at times.
But I don't think that's really the reason. And a lot of people are saying, well, the Green Bay Packers were stopping the run. They weren't stopping the run. They just didn't feed Sermon.
Yeah. And Hasty was atrocious at pass protection.
Yeah. And they feed, yeah. It's something to do with Kyle and Sermon. I don't know if Sermon trying to,
I don't know.
Hit up on his wife or his sister or somebody. But there's something that he's just holding a grudge against Sermon. And in this thing, it's hard time for Kyle to let it go. And it's like, Okay, you don't like the guy. You don't like the guy. Don't put him in. Fine. But if you're going to put him in, utilize his skill set. Give him the ball. And, at least it's going to open up your pass a little bit because at least they know you're running the ball. But when they know you're not running, they're not going to stack up the box. They're going to, they're going to put all their defenders back, and then they're going to make Jimmy throw. And they know that if they take away the middle, there you go. So, a lot of it had to do with Green Bay. A lot of it had to do with Kyle just not running the ball. And it wasn't that we couldn't run the ball. It's just he wouldn't feed him. And you're not going to run if you don't get fed. So, like Nate said, he missed something and he was gone. He disappeared, right? He was ghost for a little bit, and then he came back.
That's what it's saying, yeah.
And then they're not stopping the runs. They're sending their players back, and you're going to throw 40 times with Jimmy.
Yeah.
When on a team they can't stop the run, you're going to throw 40. That makes no sense.
None.
No sense, Kyle. So that's something that, and people were frustrated at Kyle. Kyle does need to be held responsible for this. And like Mike said earlier, you can kind of get sick and tired of listening to Kyle talk, man. They ask him direct questions, and he just kind of goes around it and doesn't answer. And you can tell he gets in little moods. And he does the same thing with the reporters, bro. Certain reporters he don't try not to talk to them. So it's like, what is it with Kyle getting on his bad side? It's like this guy, I don't know if he's Italian. No, I shouldn't say that because never mind. But what does he hold grudges that he can't let go? Kyle needs to, I don't know, man.
I just feel like Kyle Shanahan, to me, since I've been watching with the San Francisco 49ers, he's his biggest enemy at times. He can be his best, he can be at his best when he's doing what he knows how to do. But when he's in that, hey, you're getting the questions that we're talking about on this panel, because I've seen it on the interviews, and his answers are pretty like he's pissed. Like, man, how dare you, critique my offensive approach? So I don't expect him to come out and talk to some interviews and give all the beans, but I'm just looking at the fruits of his actions as opposed to his words. If he wants to blow smoke screen to the media, he's supposed to do that. But if someone's asked you 3 weeks in a row, why is Kittle being underutilized, or, why is Trey Sermon, and your actions are still doing the same things to get those questions, at some point you got to look in the mirror. That's just what I'm saying. I think Kyle gets in his own way at times. That's my humble opinion. Because he has nobody to really. Most coaches don't have an accountability person, but most coaches will be held accountable. I think Kyle Shanahan is successful and achieved expectations, so we know he's secure here. So it's a little easier to be more arrogant, or more confident, I should say, in what you do, and not be willing to take constructive criticism, versus other coaches who have lesser job security. They're more likely to take heed to that and say, okay, let me try this. That's what I'm getting at. I feel like Kyle Shanahan is a little bit more comfortable, has a longer leash to do it his way, and sometimes he gets in his own way. That's what I'm seeing based on his actions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he can definitely get in. Yeah, leave it alone. He can definitely get in his own way, Mike. You're right. He can definitely get in his own way. But I want to just make something real quick clear for our viewers, with all due respect. This is a three host panel, and when there's 3 or more in the panel, we carry a conversation. We'll bring up topics we feel fit on here, and we'll discuss topics. But if we get into our dialogue and we get into what we're talking about, and we don't pick your comments, you guys shouldn't get offended. If you guys are here for that, for yourselves, then maybe this is not the podcast for you. We are here to talk 49ers, and we'll read your comments, and we'll pick a comment here and there. But when there's more than one or guy on the panel, we're going to dialogue what we feel we need to say on the show regarding our Niners. So if you guys can respect that, cool. If not, I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe this is not the channel for you.
Man, look, I'm going to say this. A lot of comments scroll across the screen. So I'm going to be honest. When I'm talking, I'm not paying attention to every single comment that goes by. If I were to do that, I wouldn't be focused on what the hell I'm talking about or listening to what's being said. So if you have a certain topic or something you want to discuss, man, put it in the comments. We address it. We're definitely not intending to ignore nobody, but man, let's be real. If you're in my position or in a panel's position, some people come on here with an agenda to only talk about what they want to talk about because that's all they focus on, and they want to act like they're expertise in something that they probably don't know a lot about themselves, just like the rest of us, right? We're all critiquing from our own experience. So, with that being said, the reality is you can say whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, people come on here, they're going to have a lot of things they feel. We're not going to be able to address every single person's comments. You know what I mean? That's just simple. There's comments going scrolling up and down super fast, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and try to keep up with every single thing addressed. Like when we're in the middle of talking, keep in mind we're in the middle of talking and also in the middle of listening. So we got to make sure we attend to what's being said. So when people come on the show, hey man, we address it. But at the same time, some of you guys have said things weeks in a row. It's like I'm not gonna keep repeating. For example, I've seen people come on here and talk about the so-called quarterback controversy. How many weeks am I going to say there's no quarterback controversy? After a while, I'm just going to simply just dismiss it because I've already said it week 1. I went back to it week 2. I'm not going to do it week 3 through 17. I'm going to let it go. You know what I'm saying? If I see you typing the same thing and I've seen that, cool. But I don't think nobody's going to get offended, to be honest. I think it's just a matter of people typing something, and as a panel, we'll do our best to address it. But man, when we like tonight, we're having the show. We ain't been on Monday Raw in a long time. We've been Fridays, right? So this show is fresh after the game. There's going to be a lot of emphasis on passion, on what we're presenting to the fans. So, if you come on the show, man, we're going to address things. But if we don't get to you, it's nothing intentional. Just keep in mind, you're not the only one commenting. Keep in mind, as a panel, we see a lot of repetitive comments. Sometimes it's just not even worth mentioning because we've already addressed it. So maybe you came on this show tonight and it was something we addressed last show. You might have just missed last show. And in your mind, you're like, hey, they ain't holler. Well, go tune in the last show and see if we talked about it. We ain't talked about it 3 weeks. Then call me out. Say, hey, Florida Mike, I done said this 3 weeks. Y'all never talked about it. But to the point, I'm going to be honest. We done talked about secondary on this show just now. If maybe you tuned in late, but we've already addressed secondary as a weakness. The whole summer, if you ain't been on the show all summer, the first thing we said is if we don't draft secondary, we're going to have holes in the secondary. Our own Boston Hater has made that clear. We got shows to prove it. So secondary is something we've talked about. We've said we can't draft every position, so something's going to have a hole, which every team has holes, right? So we've talked about a lot of that stuff. So at the end of the day, man, it's all good. No, I'm gonna be upfront with people because if you're gonna be upfront and say some stuff in the comments, I'm gonna come right back at you with the same energy. No disrespect, it's all love, but if you're gonna dish it, you gotta be able to take it. I know I can, so it is what it is.
Absolutely. Any comment, Nate?
No, it's all been said.
Pretty much.
Appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, but no, that's enough said. I'm not gonna add to it.
Oh, Tom was a fool. Hey, you know what? Put it like this.
You gotta love it. Oh man, really? I just read it.
Tom is a fool.
Tom,
I love it.
Kiss my Mexican ass.
But yeah. But but if you got something,
I don't think Tom likes Mexicans.
If you got something you want to put out there and talk about, man, we'll definitely address on the show. But majority of the people in the comments tonight haven't really said a lot of things that we haven't covered. So I'm not really sure what comments in detail was said. I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I'm addressing that now so we can nip that in the bud quickly. Because going forward, if you got something, like I said, before you make a comment, look at our shows in the last 3 weeks and tell me what have we not covered, what have we not talked about. If you legitimately bring up something that we have not covered, we'll be glad to address it. And you can call me out because I'm the one saying it. You can say, hey, Florida Mike, in 3 weeks, I took your advice. I watched all your shows and I didn't see you talk about XYZ. Cool. I was like, hey, you're right. We didn't think about that. Let's talk about it right here, right now. But if you're going to bring up something that's been talked about repetitively, man, I'm not going to sit there and address it every week. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? We got too much to talk about. There's more issues in the secondary. We know the secondary is an issue. So how much are we going to keep talking about it? We're going to have problems with Metcalf. We're going to have problems with Hopkins. How many weeks you want us to talk about it? We play these guys twice a year. We're going to have problems in secondary against anybody. So we get it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, quarterback controversy, not going to talk about it. We've already talked about that week 1. There is no quarterback controversy. Lance gets 4 or 5 snaps. Garoppolo gets 97%. Enough said. Last time I'm gonna say that this year. Until Lance is a starter, while Garoppolo's healthy, then I'll open that can of worms again. But right now, not gonna do it. There's no quarterback controversy. It's pointless. Lance plays 4 plays in the game. That's not a quarterback controversy. I said the same thing last show. Go back and look at Friday. I said the same damn thing, and here I am saying it again. So any fan coming on here, whether you're new or repetitive, if we don't address something, it's probably already been addressed. So keep that in mind.
Valid point. And he didn't even play against the Eagles. So to your point,
I mean, yeah.
Not even 4 snaps there. So it is what it is. People are just going to be people. But, overall, we love all our viewers. All our viewers understand how we are. We are very friendly. We read a lot of comments, and we always talk about the comments. But one thing, too, is we're going to talk about different positions. We're not going to just stay on one particular situation. So we're not going to talk just about quarterbacks or just about running backs. We're going to break it down pretty much through the segment. So if you're going to ask questions, at least be open-minded of the questions you're asking and brawl your question base and just not, hit the same damn cat over and over again, in my opinion. So,
hey, last thing I'm going to say, Beto, real quick. Nobody's talked about the offensive woes on this show or anywhere. This is the first time I'm hearing about it, right? Mm-hmm. So for anybody that has something to say about, hey, why we ain't talking about this position, well, why are you not talking about the offense? Because you ain't said nothing about offense in 3 weeks. You only talk about one skill area. You have not said anything about offense.
Yep.
So I'm going to hold up a mirror and give you your energy. Why are you not talking about the offensive woes? Why are you focused on the secondary? We've already discussed the secondary being an issue. When Barrett got hurt on this show, what the hell you think we said? Yeah. Let's just be real, bro. You think we overlooked that and said, oh, well, Barrett's hurt. That's it. Let's just stick with Kyle Shanahan's woes. No, man, we talked about secondary issues and how that's going to be a concern going forward. When Barrett went down, all of us talked about it. Hell, Beto done talked about it more than us. So, like I said,
only so much you can talk about it. You're absolutely right. And
we're not gonna beat dead horses, bro. If you want that, go watch ESPN. They can talk about that all day. You know what I mean? They can give you the nonsense that they do. We created this show with its sole intent to give you what's not out there, which is real solid substance info coming strictly from the people, not from some writers who got a cue card that don't know a damn thing about our team. So
yeah, all they care is about clicks, bro. They don't care about the team. Yeah. This is you're gonna get the real deal from us.
We're in the chapters. We in the streets with the people, bro. We out here, man. We do this. Look, man, we out here at night at 11:39 my time on the East Coast. I don't see ESPN up at 11:39 talking about the San Francisco 49ers. They getting ready to do their little session about whoever's the Monday night premiere game, the Cowboys. That's what they're gonna talk about tomorrow. We talking about us. Don't give a damn about no damn Cowboys. You know what I mean? So you want real substance, come on this show, man. That's what we do here.
Yeah, I love that. You're right. And we're doing it for free. So it's not like, they get paid. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be on TV.
Facts. Our soul is into this, bro. We're doing this with no compensation. We're doing this because we love our 49ers, bro.
Exactly. And we love our viewers. And it's not like we don't read comments. It's not like we totally ignore it. But anyway, we're going to move on. It is getting late. We stayed on this a little too much. Rumor has it that Beto, you know what? I'm going to... Listen, first and foremost, as big as I am, I don't throw no nachos away. All right? So these guys are smaller. They might have thrown nachos. I ate the damn nachos while I was watching Jimmy screw up. Probably gave me diarrhea afterwards.
All right, it's time to go now.
I hate the Cowboys. Did the Cowboys win tonight?
Yeah, they did.
Their defense played that. I don't know. Maybe the Eagles' offense was bad, but the last time I seen it was an interception.
Yeah.
Well said, Dina. Well said, Dina.
Yeah, all I saw was the final score. That's it.
Yeah. Very good point, Dina Harvey. Look, brother, all positions need to step it up and improve. Yeah, starting from the head coach. So,
true.
Any final words you guys want to say before we call it a night? Tom.
Hey, I want to say
we're gonna end this show
fans.
before
I'm
they're picking on me.
Positive though. I'm in on positive though, man. I thank you for all the fans that come on here, even the ones who come on here and say little side comments every blue moon. because of you, you're an example. You keep the narrative going that there are always going to be somebody who doesn't appreciate the totality of what we do. So we appreciate you too, because without you, we wouldn't be as appreciated by the fans that do appreciate what we do. So we thankful for everybody, but thankful for the fans that really appreciate what we do, that show love, man. Big shout out to Tom. Tom, you know I love you, bro, and I love everybody else on here as well. So thank you guys, man. Canada 9 Empire chapter. Big shout out to you.
Real quick, before we call it a night, we're going to give this away tonight to one of you viewers. Oops, had it backwards. Oh, did I have it? Yeah. It's a sticker. It's Sound the Horn. 49er sticker. It's called Sound the Horn. So I'm going to give this to a lucky winner tonight. Do you guys want to just pick a winner, or you just want to do the duck race?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Either way.
I say do the duck race, man. That's been a minute we've done that, man. Maybe we can have some fun. You know what I mean? Go ahead and do a duck race if you got it.
All right, yeah, I can.
We love you too, Dina. Thank you for coming on, and we appreciate everything you bring to the table.
Definitely. Okay, hold on. Duck race. All right, keep them talking while I get everything situated, guys.
Keep them talking. Hey, I don't know if this show gets viral. I hope it does. Kyle Shanahan, if you happen to just watch this damn show, run the ball with Trace Herman more than 10. You can do it. You can do it, man. Tighten up, man. Come on. Run Garoppolo on the quarterback sneak. You can do it, Kyle. You can do it. Kyle, we know you got it in you. You take this team to the Super Bowl. Come on.
On top of that, just when the opportunities present themselves, be more aggressive.
Yes.
You've got short yardage situations and you've got downs to waste. Take a shot. Why not? I don't see enough of that.
I felt like we got out coached to the point where we got out coached more so than that team being better than us. So I feel like the Packers came in like, hey, look, we done got our asses kicked so many times here. We are going to come here and be competitive and have a shot to win. And they really locked in on executing their game plan.
Yeah, come on.
And being consistent with what they do.
The last time we played them healthy, we absolutely embarrassed them. Yeah. We said, look, we're not going to throw the ball. We're going to run the ball right at you. And we dare you to do something about it. That's an embarrassing way to lose.
Yes.
And my thing is, these are NFL players that are actually pretty good. They have pride. So they were more up for us, obviously, than we were for them. But at the end of the day, we were still in the game. As bad as we played and as many things as they did well, we still had a shot in that game. And it says that really they should not be competing with us. And the fact that we got so thoroughly outcoached and thoroughly outplayed and that there was still a game. So when you get up 17, that game's supposed to be over.
Oops. Yeah.
Hey, I need that right about now. The way I was cussing yesterday.
Yeah, that's my desktop, but I'm trying to get.
That I'm glad you put that up there, bro. I need to see that because the way I was feeling. There you go, put it up again. I sure wasn't saying stuff he would approve of yesterday after the game. I was so mad.
None of us are perfect, bro.
Yeah, I was so mad. That's how I was feeling yesterday, right there. There you go.
I'm just hitting on all of them. That is not. Oh, you know what? Let me do it this way. Let's see if I can do it this way. Oops. Hold on, guys. Let's see if I can do it this way. Let me go into mine. Okay, there we go. It's just going to see my face on there, but it's okay. Are you guys ready? You guys, I can still hear you guys, right? Mike, you still with me?
I'm here.
Okay, good. I switched whole different screens. All right. So everybody's on. All of us are on there. So let's see who's going to be the lucky winner for the person. Here we go. And I hit the wrong one. Yeah, not when I did that. All right. Oh, don't tell me it started over again. Hold on. This is incredible. Technical difficulties.
You can take me out, Beto, because if I win, I'm gonna give it away.
All right,
I
fair
rather-
enough. Me
I-
too.
Yeah, you can put me on there because I'm going to give it to who I want to give it to.
All right. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? Dina.
I know one thing, man. We better come out blazing in Seattle. I don't give a damn if they lost 2 games and come out wanting to win. Hell, we just lost. We want to come out and win too. And we're at home, right?
Yeah.
So we got to come out, man. We've got to beat Seattle. We got to get that. We got to get them underneath us, period. So we better come out blazing, opening drives, first halves. We just need to be consistent, man. I want to see us move the ball. I want to see us get first downs. Tired of us playing around. Let's go, man.
All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Ready?
Here's hitter.
Here we go. Here we go.
Damn, Affleck.
Affleck.
So-
There goes Dina.
So whoever's in first will lose. Hey, man, I'm tired of Tom never getting love on the Ducks, bro. Tom, I'm still rooting for you. I ain't forgot. Every time we do.
Did I
this
put his
damn
name in
game-
there? Just kidding.
Yes, he's there.
I
But he
know.
never gets no. Like I'm in front. I'm not gonna win. I already get it.
Well, if you win,
Come
you
on,
can give
Beto. Beto, what's this? You surgeon, bro? You got a cold? You're a cheater.
hey, I'm wearing Steve Young's jersey, bro. Leave me alone.
Hey, you got me dressed up out of everybody else. What's up with that, bro? I'm the only one like a damn nurse. Like I protected from COVID.
You're a doctor, bro. You're a doctor in football.
Yeah.
Few of them that are dressed up.
I know, but
Okay.
Tom's dressed up. Tom's like.
Why?
So
You,
is Mo.
look, is Tom going to actually win?
Here we go. Here, somebody's 5, 4,
Josh.
3, 2,
Josh.
1.
Josh has got it. Josh.
All right, Josh.
Tom, I try to help you, bro. I really do. I'm rooting for you.
There you go, Josh. Congratulations. And by the way, if you guys don't know who Josh is, that's a young hitter. I know you guys already know that, but young hitter is Josh.
Congrats,
So,
bro.
congratulations, Josh. Man, Josh has been blessed. I just gave his girlfriend a jersey yesterday. Just gave her a jersey, and he won. Josh, I think you won. You won one of these yesterday. So now you got 2. I'll give you, if you want, this one, Josh. Since you already got, you can get 2 of them. Since you won, I believe the other one, or you can have one of these.
Oh, damn, that's nice.
It's up to you, bro. You can either have one of each, or you can have 2 of these, bro. It's all good. Let me know. Send me an email, and then you got to send me your girlfriend's information, what size she needs, what player, so forth. But and I'll take care of you. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. It's been good. We'll be back on here on Friday. God willing, talk a little bit more football. Let everybody know that N.W.A is live and well, man. We're gonna get this party started. So definitely more to talk about. Boston Hater, Florida Mike, E-Man on the comments. Truly appreciate you guys. You know that this N.W.A isn't what it is without you guys, first and foremost, and especially with all the viewers always come in and charming in. We love you and respect each and every one of you. Anything else? Any last words before we go?
No.
Screw
You all
Seattle.
didn't put my name. Oh, well, it wasn't intentional. I left Javier out. Well, Javier, I'll just next time, bro. Sorry. Don't be a hater. All right, guys. We're out of here. Good night. Good night.